Have you ever wondered why average men on dating apps basically gets no matches? What is going on here? Is it simply a difference in the amount of men versus women? Are women's standards really high? What is actually happening here? So last time I checked, the average dating app had about 3-to-1 men to women in their ratio, so clearly more men are interested in going on dates with women online than women are. So straight away the scale is kind of tipped to one side, right? That alone makes dating a lot harder for the average guy. Another thing is that men are also way less selective with who they swipe right on compared to women. And to illustrate this, I recently went on a date with this girl, and she's cute. She's a pretty girl, right? We got to the conversation of dating apps, and I'm very curious, and I wanted to know what her experience was like using Tinder. And she told me she was averaging 1,000 likes on Tinder a day. Yeah. So every day she would log in, she would have 1,000 guys swiping right on her that she could choose from. And she told me this, and she got Tinder Gold just to see, who was swiping right and left on her. So 1,000 likes a day, okay? Now, even if you're like the best looking guy in the world, you're not getting 1,000 likes a day on a dating app, right? She's pretty, like she's a pretty girl, and I would say she's an attractive girl, but like 1,000 likes a day, that's an insane amount of men to choose from, right? Now, I want to ask you this. Why would she choose an average guy? When her choices are so vast, why would she choose a guy that doesn't have anything special going on in terms of his looks? The answer is she wouldn't. If you were in that same situation and you had 1,000 girls liking your dating app profile and swiping right on you, and you could choose from any of them, you aren't going to pick the dime a dozen humdrum girl. You are going to go for a girl that stands out to you in some way. And first of all, like if you're just scrolling through like who actually liked your profile as she was doing, an average looking face and body isn't going to stand out at all. Like it would just be blur. It would just be like part of the background while she's looking for guys that she likes in some way. And if getting 1,000 likes from women on a dating app a day is too far-fetched for you to imagine, imagine if you're hiring someone for a job and you get 1,000 job applications a day. Okay, why on God's green earth would you choose just a dime a dozen average job applicant? There's no point. It would be totally illogical for you to do so. You're either going to wait and get the best possible offer, like the best possible job applicant, the guy that is like the most qualified and has the best experience and so on, or you are going to pick one job applicant that has some kind of specialty niche ability that is very hard to find. He'll have some X factor that is valuable to your company. You're going to hire that guy. You're not going to hire any of the humdrum job applicants, are you? This is the position that pretty women are in when they're using a dating app. They are getting so many of these guys liking her and wanting to date her. If you are an average guy and you're not in some kind of niche, or you're not like a Chad, you're not a very good looking guy, you are functionally invisible, and that's why average men basically gets no matches on dating apps. Like when I'm traveling abroad and I'm in a country where my looks are pretty unique, I do pretty damn well because I stand out from the crowd, right? I have blue eyes, I have blonde hair, I'm quite tall, my shoulders are quite wide. I wouldn't say I'm a Chad, definitely can't be replaced that easy in countries that I'm visiting. So when I'm using a dating app, I usually average like 50 to 100 likes a day when I'm traveling around. Unless you're like a really good looking guy, or you're unique looking in some kind of way, like you have some kind of niche appeal, like you're the hyper masculine bodybuilder guy, you're a skater guy, you're an emo guy, you're a thug maxed guy, maybe you've got like long blonde hair like I do. There's some sort of niche to you where you kind of stand out from the crowd. I think that's the only way an average guy can basically be not invisible on a dating app, is if you stand out in some kind of way. And again, being a Chad is like genetically beyond the scope of most men, right? So if they aren't some sort of niche, they're just dime a dozen. They're functionally invisible on a dating app. You're one of the 1,000 guys that are swiping right on that girl's profile, right? And another thing with looks is that the return on investment for looking better is asymptotic. And an asymptote is basically when something approaches a point on a graph, it takes like an upturn to infinity, kind of like an exponential increase. This is something that a lot of people really struggle to wrap their head around. If you like go from like a 5 to a 7 in looks, people assume, okay, well, you're going to get a bit more matches. Going from a 5 to a 7 will give you an exponential increase in the amount of matches you get, because now you're out of the dime a dozen humdrum group of guys, and now you look quite handsome. You're like a 7, you're a 7 out of 10. And most people don't really have the ability to comprehend things in an exponential way. Like, we like to think in like a linear graph. We don't tend to get instinctually exponentiality as well as we do something that's linear. The return on investment for looks is not linear. I want to give an example. This guy on his forum created 2 separate dating app profiles on Tinder, and he used his like regular picture, and he used a picture that was like heavily filtered and photoshopped to make himself more attractive. He gave himself a jawline, more forward projection, just a bunch of features that would make him objectively better looking as a guy. And he noticed he was getting like 4 matches a week on his like regular pictures. On his photoshopped pictures, he was getting like, on his first day, he said he got like 50 likes on Tinder in a day. That is an order of magnitude better results. That is an exponential increase in the amount of dating success that guy is having if he was actually looking like his photoshopped and filtered picture, right? And again, this is hard for people to imagine. A guy that is a 7 out of 10 is a whole different, it's like not even comparable, the amount of attraction that he'll create with women compared to a 5 out of 10 guy. Kind of like the default assumption in society is that a handsome looking guy is going to have a bit better results in dating. Most people don't quite understand that it's not a bit better. It's like leagues and bounds better results in online dating. But in 2024, in the online dating meta, a normie looking guy, you're getting functionally 0 matches. And I know technically, you know, you could say, well, you'll get a few matches here and there, like maybe like, you know, 2 or 4 a week, but that's functionally 0, because like you got to factor in girls that accidentally swipe right, girls that are bots, catfishers, girls just trying to get followers on Instagram, girls that are gonna flake. So when you add up all these variables, it is functionally 0 matches, right? And that's for the average guy, and that sucks. And the annoying thing is you kind of get like these like Reddit soyjack type of guys that gaslight average looking dudes as to why they're not getting matches on Tinder. They'll say stuff like, oh, you need to change your bio, you need to smile more, oh, the position's not quite right, you need to... They'll like hyper analyze every single aspect and make the guy second guess every single thing that he's saying or doing, or like, it's just like, no. Again, this pretty girl that I dated said she was getting 1,000 likes a day. If you're an average looking guy, you're functionally invisible to her. And this is like the curse of the average guy. Like, you don't want to be interchangeable with one of the many 1,000 guys that were liking this girl's profile in a day. You don't want to be in that position. You want to stand out in some kind of way. You know, the Reddit's soyjack guy is going to be like, oh no, you need to smile more. It's just like, shut up. Average looking girls on dating apps, they get a huge amount of, like an order of magnitude more likes on their dating app profiles than men do. So to even like have a chance at like average looking girls, you know, you need to stand out in some kind of way. You need to be a niche or be just straight up good looking as a man. I've seen this myself, like when I was like very much below average, right? Like I was a neckbeard and like, yeah, you can see me on screen here. I was getting basically no matches, and yeah, I improved myself and improved my looks, and yeah, it's just a different ball game now. Like I can actually, in fact, I'm going on a date in, oh shit, I have to get ready for a date in like 50 minutes. Just like in a different point in my life right now. And this is where you want to be as a guy. Like you want to, you know, be able to stand out from the crowd and not look like just another normie, right? Don't play it safe. Don't try and look like a normie. Stand out in some kind of way. You have to either just straight up look better, or you have to not look like a normie. Be a skater guy, a emo guy, some criminal looking guy, if that's the route you want to go down. If you guys want to do something about your looks and improve your looks, you can go to my Patreon, where I've made a bunch of videos specifically about how to look better as a guy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.